Hi, I'm Amanda and this is Rabbit for Keeps. So your rabbit has not pooped or eaten anything in 24 hours. Now this is a life risk situation. Now, if you have never had this happen before, then what you need to do is to call your vet and get an appointment for today or early tomorrow. But if you have had this happen before, then please keep watching because I'm going to give you some tips and advice on how to treat and manage the condition yourself.
So as I say, unless there are any other conditions, so if there's eye problems, if there's discharge from nose, ears, eyes, if there's any sort of injuries to the rabbit, any loss of movement, any paralysis, any other issues, any other problems that your rabbit's having, then this is not the right advice for you. You need to go and see a vet. So the first thing to do is to try and offer them some food. Offer them their treats, even some of the banned treats. Anything that you think might get them interested in taking a bite and just getting something inside their stomachs. This is really, really important. But if this fails, as it frequently will, what I might do, and as I say, this is because I've got a lot of experience of looking after rabbits, is I might offer my rabbits some herbs or some weeds from my garden that are known to speed up and promote digestion in rabbits. These are things like dandelions, clover, shepherd's purse. These wildflowers, these wild plants are really good for getting the digestion moving, getting the urinary tract moving as well. These plants are very attractive to rabbits as food, and even if they will turn down a lot of their usual food, rabbits will often consume a lot of dandelions very quickly if they're hungry and they've stopped eating other food when they're completely off their normal food. However, if you have no experience of treating rabbits for this condition with wild plants, go straight to the next step, which is to use a recovery food. Now, there are a number of varieties of recovery food. There's critical care, there's a food that's just called recovery food. There's also another food which is done by Selective, and another food done by Oxbow. Any of their foods is suitable to give your rabbit next. Now, what you will need to do next is, unfortunately, to force feed your rabbit these foods, because they will not, or it's very unlikely that they will eat these foods themselves. So what is recovery food or critical care? Well, basically, it's just a lot of ground up fibre and plant fibre, stimulants for the gut, stimulants for the bacteria, ground down into a powder. What you do is you mix this powder with water and then you feed it to your rabbit with a syringe. Now, you'll need to mix it quite well. You need to make sure there's no dust in the final mixture. The best thing to do is to mix this in a tub and keep this tub for about 1 day. Try to make sure the liquid is neither too warm or too cool. So if it's a hot day, try and cool it down. If it's a cool day, try and warm it up a little. So first off, wrap your rabbit securely in a towel. This is to stop them struggling. They will struggle quite a bit anyway, and you'll stand no chance of getting the liquid in their mouth if you're just trying to hold them with one hand and feed them with the syringe with the other. Have some tissues ready. You will need them. You'll need them to wipe off excess mixture from around the rabbit's face and chest. So what you do is gently pry open with your fingers the rabbit's mouth, and I do mean gently. You don't want to cause any damage to their mouth or to their jaw, which in a rabbit like this, which is quite a small rabbit, a dwarf rabbit, that would be quite easy to do if you were too heavy-handed. Gently open the mouth of the rabbit and squeeze the end of the syringe at one side. It'll be far easier to do this. Obviously, the rabbit's two sets of teeth at the front are in the way if you're trying to offer it this any other way. You must offer it sideways into their mouth. Only squeeze in as much as they can drink in one short session. So just a squeeze, and a squeeze. Give them a break between each squeeze. Allow them to swallow and maybe lick their mouths. This will make them more receptive to the process if you're not trying to rush, and this will avoid any choking or them breathing the liquid in. So keep following this pattern of squeezing in, allowing them to rest, squeezing in another bit, allowing them to rest, allowing them to get themselves together and get more comfortable. And then eventually the syringe will be empty. You only need to give them really a single syringe. That should be enough. But on the back of the packet for the recovery food or the critical care food, there'll be instructions about how much you need to feed each rabbit. You will need to force feed your rabbit, unfortunately, at least twice a day, preferably 3 times a day if you've got time. And you will need to continue doing this every day until the rabbit starts to accept their normal food. So while you're doing this, continue to offer them normal food and also offer them some treats, anything to get them interested and to get their appetite working as normal. What you should expect and what you need to be watching out for is that they should start producing poo and eating food, I would say, by the middle of the second day of treatment. If nothing's happened so far, continue to give them recovery food, but book them in for an appointment. Chances are there is another condition, but it might be one that's difficult to spot, or maybe even needs a test to spot the condition. The first poo that may come back in their tray may be quite liquidy. Obviously, you've been giving them a lot of liquid, but it shouldn't be too mushy. There should be some indication that they've eaten solid food. So there should be some firm poo in the tray and some softer poo. As soon as you see about 10 to 15 poops in their tray, then this is the point where you can stop giving them critical care or recovery food. But make sure you keep a close eye on them. You want to make sure that they've recovered fully and that you don't have to put them back onto the high fibre liquid. After 2 or 3 days, their eating and pooping should have gone back to normal. If it hasn't, you must take your rabbit to the vet. I can tell you that you'll never feel so grateful to find poo in your rabbit's tray once you've gone through this process, which obviously is quite nerve-wracking for you. And then when you see them start to tuck into their bowls of food and eating their hay, you know that, thank goodness, they are back to normal. Here is Nicky now, fully recovered, back running around the garden and just getting up to his usual madness as normal. Digging, playing, running around and having fun.
Thank you for watching Rabbit for Keeps. I hope you found this information useful for helping treat your rabbit with gut stasis. Please like this video or comment or subscribe to see more videos. Thank you.